FIFA World Cup 2026, Sweden vs Tunisia. The FIFA World Cup often begins with tense, cautious encounters. But every so often, one team makes a statement from the opening whistle. On June 14, 2026, Sweden returned to the FIFA World Cup after missing the 2022 tournament and immediately reminded everyone why they remain one of Europe's dangerous football nations. Wearing their iconic yellow shirts and blue shorts, Sweden faced Tunisia in red at Monterrey Stadium, looking to begin Group F with 3 valuable points. By the end of 90 minutes, Sweden had announced themselves in spectacular fashion with a commanding 5-1 victory. Quote of the match: Sweden didn't just win their World Cup opener, they announced their return to the world stage. Match overview. The FIFA World Cup 2026 featured a Group F clash between Sweden and Tunisia. The match was played on June 14, 2026, at Monterrey Stadium, Estadio BBVA, in Guadalupe, Nuevo León, Mexico. Kickoff was at 8 p.m. local time, and 50,987 spectators filled the stadium to watch Sweden's first World Cup match since Russia 2018. The atmosphere was energetic, with Swedish supporters dressed in yellow creating a vibrant backdrop, while Tunisian fans hoped their side could begin the tournament with an upset. Both nations entered knowing that an opening victory in Group F could prove decisive, with Japan and the Netherlands also competing for qualification. Story of the match. Sweden wasted little time imposing themselves on the contest. Only 7 minutes had been played when goalkeeper Muhib Chamak failed to deal cleanly with a dangerous Swedish attack. Viktor Gyökeres' effort was blocked, but the loose ball fell perfectly to Yasin Ayari, whose stunning first-time strike from outside the penalty area flew into the top corner to give Sweden an early 1-0 lead. It was a spectacular opening goal and the perfect start for Graham Potter's side. Tunisia attempted to respond by committing more players forward, but that opened space behind their defense. In the 30th minute, Sweden struck again. Winning possession deep inside their own half, they launched a rapid counterattack. Gyökeres released Alexander Isak, who drove confidently toward goal before cutting inside and calmly finishing to double Sweden's advantage. Just when it appeared Sweden would head comfortably into halftime, Tunisia found a lifeline. In the 43rd minute, Hannibal Mejbri delivered an excellent cross into the box, where Omar Rekik rose highest to power a precise header into the net. Tunisia's first shot on target reduced the deficit to 2-1 and briefly shifted momentum before the halftime whistle. Early in the second half came the game's only booking. Rani Khedira received a yellow card in the 54th minute after committing a late foul as Tunisia attempted to slow Sweden's growing rhythm. No player was sent off during the match. 5 minutes later, Sweden restored their 2-goal cushion. Isak aggressively won possession from Elis Skiri before squaring the ball perfectly for Viktor Gyökeres, who finished from close range to make it 3-1. The combination between Sweden's 2-star forwards proved decisive throughout the evening. As the second half progressed, both coaches turned to their benches. Sweden introduced Lucas Bergvall and Elliot Stroud around the 65th minute, while Tunisia responded with several substitutions including Haj Mahmoud, Elias Akuri and Sebastian Tenekti as they searched for a way back into the contest. One substitution had an immediate impact. In the 84th minute, moments after entering the match, Matthias Svanberg found the back of the net. The assistant referee initially raised the flag for offside, but after a VAR review the goal was awarded, extending Sweden's lead to 4-1. Remarkably, Svanberg scored only seconds after coming onto the pitch. There was still time for one final highlight. Deep into stoppage time, Lucas Bergvall found Yasin Ayari outside the penalty area. Ayari unleashed another powerful long-range strike that flew beyond the goalkeeper, completing his brace and sealing an emphatic 5-1 victory for Sweden. Match analysis. Before kickoff, Sweden entered the tournament with expectations of relying heavily on their attacking partnership of Alexander Isak and Viktor Gyökeres. While both forwards had not spent extensive time playing together internationally, this match demonstrated just how dangerous that combination could become. They constantly stretched Tunisia's defense with intelligent movement, combining for multiple goals and assists while creating space for midfield runners like Yasin Ayari. Ayari's performance was particularly significant. Facing the country connected to his family heritage, he produced 2 spectacular long-range goals and controlled the midfield throughout the evening. His composure and technical quality added another dimension to Sweden's attack beyond their 2 established strikers. Tunisia's original game plan appeared to focus on remaining compact defensively before attacking through quick transitions. That strategy unraveled after conceding so early. Forced to chase the match, Tunisia pushed higher up the pitch, leaving spaces Sweden repeatedly exploited on counterattacks. Defensive mistakes and difficulties dealing with Sweden's pace proved costly throughout the evening. Although Omar Rekik's goal before halftime briefly gave Tunisia hope, Sweden never lost control. Instead of becoming anxious after conceding, they maintained their shape, continued moving the ball efficiently, and steadily increased the pressure until the scoreline reflected their dominance. Coach Graham Potter later praised his team's composure after Tunisia reduced the deficit, highlighting how they remained disciplined instead of becoming emotional. For Sweden, the victory immediately placed them at the top of Group F and significantly boosted both confidence and goal difference. Tunisia, meanwhile, faced immediate pressure heading into their remaining group matches after suffering a heavy opening defeat. Match statistics. Statistically, the match was more balanced in possession than the final score suggested. Tunisia actually finished with 51% possession compared to Sweden's 49%, but Sweden were vastly more clinical whenever opportunities appeared. They generated 13 total shots, placing 8 on target, while Tunisia managed only 5 shots with 2 testing the goalkeeper. Sweden also earned 4 corner kicks compared to Tunisia's 2, reflecting their sustained attacking pressure in dangerous areas. Discipline was not a major storyline. The referee produced only 1 yellow card, shown to Tunisia's Rani Khedira in the 54th minute, and no red cards were issued. Despite the physical nature of several midfield challenges, the match remained under control throughout. Perhaps the biggest statistical story was Sweden's efficiency. 5 goals from 13 attempts illustrated an outstanding conversion rate, while Alexander Isak contributed 1 goal and 2 assists. Viktor Gyökeres finished with 1 goal and 1 assist. And Yasin Ayari delivered 2 spectacular finishes to cap one of the standout individual performances of the opening round. Sweden couldn't have imagined a much stronger return to the FIFA World Cup. A 5-goal performance, standout displays from Ayari, Isak and Gyökeres, and 3 valuable points placed the Scandinavian side firmly in control of Group F after matchday 1. For Tunisia, there were moments of promise, particularly Rekik's first-half header, but defensive lapses and Sweden's relentless attacking quality proved too much to overcome. The World Cup had only just begun, but Sweden had already delivered one of the tournament's most convincing opening statements.